6 months from now, you are going to meet a version of yourself. And that version is going to tell the truth. Not the story you post, not the excuse you give people, not the version you rehearse in your head when you are trying to feel better about wasting another day. The truth. 6 months from now, you will either look back and know you finally kept your word, or you will be standing in the same place, explaining why nothing changed. And the hardest part is this. You already know which direction you are moving. You know when you are locked in. You know when you are drifting. You know when you are building something. And you know when you are just staying busy enough to avoid admitting that you're afraid. This is not about motivation. Motivation is too weak for the life you say you want. Motivation visits. Discipline stays. Motivation gives you a feeling. Discipline gives you proof. So for the next few minutes, do not listen like this is another video. Listen like this is the moment you stop negotiating with the part of you that keeps wasting your life. Because 6 months is coming. Whether you lock in or not, every time you say tomorrow and do nothing today, something happens. It is quiet. Nobody sees it. There is no alarm. There is no dramatic collapse. But something inside you gets weaker. Not because you missed one workout. Not because you ate one bad meal. Not because you slept in one morning. But because you made a promise to yourself and taught your mind that your promises do not matter. That is the real cost. It is not the missed hour. It is not the missed rep. It is not the missed page. It is the loss of self-trust. And once you stop trusting yourself, everything gets heavier. Getting up gets harder. Starting gets harder. Finishing gets harder. Believing gets harder. Because deep down, your mind remembers. It remembers every time you said you would change. It remembers every plan you wrote down and abandoned. It remembers every version of you that got excited for 2 days, then disappeared. And after a while, your mind stops clapping when you make a new promise. It waits. It says, show me. That is why confidence feels far away. Confidence is not a speech. Confidence is not a quote. Confidence is not a playlist, a new notebook, or a perfect morning routine. Confidence is evidence. It is built every time you do what you said you would do. It is built every time you keep the promise when nobody would know you broke it. It is built every time comfort calls and you let discipline answer. If you feel like you have lost confidence, maybe you have not lost anything. Maybe you just stopped giving yourself proof. Look at your days, not your dreams, not your intentions, not what you say you want. Look at your days. Your days are honest. Your calendar is honest. Your screen time is honest. Your bank account is honest. Your body is honest. Your room is honest. Your habits are honest. They tell the truth before your mouth does. And if you do not like what they are saying, that is not a reason to hate yourself. It is a reason to wake up, because the life you have right now is not random. It is the result of what you repeat. Repeated excuses become your identity. Repeated discipline becomes your identity. Repeated comfort becomes regret. Repeated courage becomes proof. Most people do not lose because they are weak. They lose because they keep making comfort the leader. They let comfort decide when they wake up. They let comfort decide what they eat. They let comfort decide how much work gets done. They let comfort decide when they quit. Then they wonder why their life feels small. Comfort is not harmless. Comfort has a cost. Comfort will take your time, your edge, your belief, your standards, and your future. And it will do it politely. It will sound reasonable. It will say, you deserve a break. It will say, start Monday. It will say, you have time. It will say, nobody is watching. And that is exactly why you need discipline. Because discipline does not care if comfort has a good argument. Discipline remembers the life you said you wanted. Here is the shift. For the next 6 months, stop asking how you feel. Feelings are allowed to exist. They are not allowed to lead. You can feel tired and still train. You can feel uncertain and still work. You can feel behind and still start. You can feel embarrassed and still improve. You can feel unmotivated and still keep the promise. The goal is not to become a machine. The goal is to stop letting every emotion become a vote. Because if your feelings decide your standards will change every day. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel focused. Some days you will feel ready. But some days you will feel tired, irritated, distracted, lonely, bored, and unsure. Those are the days that count. Anybody can move when life is cheering for them. Anybody can work when the mood is perfect. Anybody can dream when the room is quiet and the future feels close. But discipline is built when the conditions are not perfect. It is built when you do not feel like it. It is built when nobody notices. It is built when you are still sore. It is built when the result has not shown up yet. It is built when your old self starts talking and your new self refuses to answer. That is the moment. That is where you change. Not in the announcement, not in the plan, not in the fantasy. In the small, private decision where nobody claps and you do it anyway. If you want to lock in for 6 months, do not make it complicated. Complicated plans give your excuses room to hide. You need rules. Simple rules. Rules you can measure. Rules you can repeat. Rule 1. Wake up when you said you would. The first promise of the day sets the tone for every promise after it. When you hit snooze, you are not just sleeping longer. You are practicing negotiation. You are teaching yourself that the first deal of the day can be broken. So stop making the morning dramatic. Set the time. Get up. Do not debate. Rule 2. Train your body. Not because you are chasing attention. Not because your worth depends on your physique. But because your body is the place where discipline becomes physical. Training teaches you to push when your mind wants comfort. It teaches you that pain is not always danger. It teaches you that effort can be survived. It teaches you that you are capable of more than your first impulse. Rule 3, do the work before you chase distraction. Your phone can wait, the feed can wait, the messages can wait, the entertainment can wait. Your future should not have to fight for attention against every cheap distraction in the world. Give your best focus to your highest priority, not after everything else gets a piece of you. First, Rule 4, keep your environment clean enough to respect yourself. Your room matters. Your desk matters. Your car matters. Your digital space matters. You cannot keep telling yourself you are building a serious life while living inside chaos you refuse to fix. Order is not everything, but it is a signal. It tells your mind that you are not waiting to be rescued. Rule 5, track the promise. What gets tracked gets respected. Put the calendar where you can see it. Mark the day. Do not break the chain lightly. When you can see the proof stacking, momentum becomes real. And when momentum becomes real, your identity starts to change. You stop saying, I am trying. You start saying, this is what I do. That sentence matters. This is what I do. That is identity. That is the goal. Most people want the result without becoming the person who can keep it. They want the body but not the standard. They want the money but not the restraint. They want the confidence but not the evidence. They want the respect but not the consistency. They want the life but not the price. But the price is not punishment. The price is preparation. Discipline is how life prepares you to hold what you are asking for. If you cannot keep one promise for one day, how will you handle a bigger life? If you cannot manage your morning, how will you manage pressure? If you cannot control your attention, how will you build anything meaningful? If comfort can buy you for one bad mood, how serious are you really? Do not take that as an insult. Take it as a standard. For 6 months, become the kind of person who can be trusted with more. More responsibility, more money, more pressure, more opportunity, more freedom, more respect. Not because you begged for it, because you became proof. Every day you keep the promise, you are casting a vote. You are voting for the person you are becoming. One workout is a vote. One focused hour is a vote. One clean meal is a vote. One saved dollar is a vote. One page read is a vote. One distraction ignored is a vote. One honest decision is a vote. At first, it will not look like much. That is why most people quit. They underestimate quiet progress. They think transformation should feel dramatic. But real change is usually quiet while it is happening. It looks like repetition. It looks like boring days. It looks like saying no. It looks like leaving early. It looks like training alone. It looks like working while nobody understands. It looks like choosing the future over the feeling. Then one day people notice. They ask what changed. They ask how you did it. They say you are different. but they missed the part where you became different. They missed the mornings. They missed the silence. They missed the sacrifice. They missed the nights you wanted to quit and did not. They missed the private promises. They only see the result. You will know the proof. 6 months from now, your life will have evidence. It will have evidence that you stayed the same or evidence that you changed. There is no neutral path. Every day is training you. Either training you to trust yourself or training you to break your word. Either training you to choose comfort or training you to choose standards. Either training you to explain or training you to become the answer. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for the perfect mood. Stop waiting for life to get easier before you get serious. The next 6 months are already moving. Lock in. Wake up when you said you would. Train, work, save, study, clean your environment, guard your attention, keep the promise. Do it when it is boring. Do it when it is inconvenient. Do it when nobody notices. Do it until your mind believes you again. Do it until confidence is not something you search for, but something you stand on. Do it until your life has proof. 6 months from now, make them ask what happened and let your discipline answer.